Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to show you how to find all 32 balloon sets here in Hogwarts Legacy. Now, it's very important that you guys know before you get started that there's a couple balloon sets that'll only spawn in during Madame Kagawa's assignments. Right after you finish taking your first flying lesson, she'll give you an assignment to go and find a set of balloons and pop them. After doing that, go back, she'll teach you a spell, and shortly after, she'll start assignment number 2, which is then to go and find 2 more sets of balloons. So if you find yourself in this video going to a location and not finding the balloons, it's probably because they're part of her assignment. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So our first balloon cluster is going to be found over the Quidditch pitch over here on the side of the Hogwarts castle. To get there quickly, you can just take the bell tower wing flag and head over here to the Hogwarts North exit Floo Flame. And once you take that Floo Flame, you'll just want to hop on your broomstick and fly on over. The 3 that are the easiest to find are the ones hovering directly above the pitch. One obviously right here in front of me, one hovering over the middle, and one in the back. The other 2 are on the outside. So one is behind this purple structure here, and the 5th one is going to be a little bit further back this way. As you guys can see, it's in between the yellow and the blue. Our next location is going to be just south of the castle. If you guys look over here, we have a cluster of trees. You can put down a marker right here and fly from the pitch, or you can use the Floo Flame over here, the lower Hogsfield. If you use that Floo Flame, you just jump on your broomstick, head toward the marker, and as you get out of the trees, you guys will be able to see all 5 balloons pretty easily right here. Our next location is going to be found just southeast of the castle. If you guys work your way southeast, you guys will see that we have a cluster of about 5 or 6 trees right here. If you place a marker down and take the same Floo Flame that we took for the last one, the lower Hogsfield Floo Flame, you guys can hop on your broomstick, go across the lake, and as you work your way there, even from here, you can see all 5 balloons as they're all lined up in a straight line here. So this is your 3rd location. Our 4th spot is going to be found east of the castle. If you cross the lake over here, you guys will see that we have a bridge for the train to cross. Our balloons are going to be located on the right side of this bridge. So what you can do is come right down here and take the Shire Floo Flame. And once you take that, you'll just turn around and head toward your marker, which is literally just behind these trees. And once you get to this bridge, you guys can see right here on the right side are all 5 of your balloons. There's 4 right here, and if you guys look under me, the 5th one is right here. The next location is very, very nearby. As you guys can see, I'm still on the bridge from our last set of balloons. The next one's going to be right up here in Hogsmeade Station. So we can put down a marker if you need to, but we're just going to head north from the bridge. Even closing out my map, you guys can already see where the next set of balloons are. It can be a little tricky. There's 4 that are directly over the tracks. There's a 5th one that's down here in the woods. So if you can't find one, it's probably this one. It's hiding behind these trees. And then you guys can see we have 3 that are right out here in the open. One right here, one straight in front of me, and one here on the bottom. But there's another one over here on the back side of these trees. So these are the 5 balloons in this cluster. Our next location is going to be found just north of Hogsmeade. There's a Floo Flame up here called the Upper Hogsfield Floo Flame. If you take that Floo Flame, the balloons are going to be directly above you. As you guys can see, I spawn in, hop on my broomstick, and you're already able to find this set of balloons. If I head this way and turn around, you guys will see we have 3 balloons that kind of go into the trees there, and the last 2 are on the back side. Our next location is going to be found just northwest of the castle. You guys can see the castle here. Our spot is going to be up here by this cluster of trees. So what you can do is take the Mooncalf Den Floo Flame, and once you spawn in, just go toward your marker. You'll have to fly around this small little mountainside here as you can't enter while you're on your broomstick. But once you come around the corner, you guys should pretty easily be able to see all 5 balloons, with 1 below us, 3 in front of us here, and then 1 over here on the left side. Our next 2 spots are going to be found in the North Ford Bog region on the northern side of the map. If you zoom in here on the right side, we have the East North Ford Bog Floo Flame. We're going to take that Floo Flame, and our location is going to be right outside. So as soon as you exit the door, you guys can see that behind this giant tree here, we're going to have all 5 of our balloons, starting with 1 up here on top of the waterfall. You guys will see our next 2 that are right here to the left. We've got 1 that's a little bit further back all the way up there in the sky. And then our 5th location is going to be continuing this way behind these trees. You guys can see the 5th balloon right here and next to these smaller trees. Now our next location up here is going to be found on the western side of the bog. If you zoom in, we have a Floo Flame called Pit Upon Ford. The location is going to be directly to the east of this, so like right next to it. So as soon as you take this Floo Flame, you'll spawn in right here. All you have to do is go straight up on your broomstick and turn around, and you guys will see the balloons. You have to go pretty high up for these, but they're pretty easy to find once you get up here, as all 5 of them are located right here. Next, we're going to head into the Hogwarts Valley. We've got 7 balloon clusters down here, and we're going to start on the far northeastern side over here in Brockborough. Fortunately, we do have a fast travel in Brockborough, so we'll take that fast travel. And as soon as you spawn in, hop on your broomstick, we're going to fly up and to the right, and you guys will already see our balloons. We've got one on the left, one on the right, and our last 3 balloons go down into this area. So you guys can see the remaining 3 right here. Our next location is going to be found west of Keene Bridge. So we'll come down here, we'll take the Keene Bridge Flue Flame. You guys can see I've already placed a marker up here around the tree line. So once you take this Flue Flame, you'll spawn in. All you really need to do is fly up. And even from here, you guys can already see all 5 balloons are over here just above the tree line. For our next location, we're going to head right back over to the Keene Bridge Flue Flame. And once you spawn in, all we're going to do is fly up a little bit and turn to our left. And as you guys can see up here in the sky, we have our next set of balloons. These are a little bit far apart, but you have the bubbles in between to make you go faster. And all 5 of them are in a straight line. So all you have to do is work your way down that way, and you'll be able to get all 5. For our next location, we're going to head down over here to the West Hogwarts Valley Flue Flame. And once you get here, you guys can see I've already marked it on the map, but we're going to go up on top of this mountain here, and we're going to have another set of balloons. So taking the West Hogwarts Valley Flue Flame, we're going to immediately fly up and go toward our ping on the left. And as you work your way up, as soon as you get above the mountain here, you guys will start to see the bubbles as well as our balloons. Now they start from the right here, as you guys can see the one down there. We've got 3 right in front of us, and the last 2, if you just follow the bubbles, go underneath this little bridge over here. Now for our next location, we're going to use the same Flue Flame we just used, the West Hogwarts Valley, except this time we're going to go to the right. So as you guys can see over here, we have a cluster of trees with a little opening in between. This is where our next set of balloons is going to be. So taking this Flue Flame over here, once you spawn in, all we have to do is head toward our purple marker here. And as we work our way down this path and to that marker, you guys will find 5 balloons all lined up pretty easily to see as they're all here in the open. For our next location, we're going to head to the eastern side of the map over here. We've got a Flue Flame called the Mind's Eye. It's actually just south of our little castle here. We're going to take this Flue Flame, and the location is going to be directly south of it. So once you take this Flue Flame, we can go toward our purple marker. All you really need to do is turn around, and you guys will be able to see the first balloon. And these are pretty easy to find as they just go straight down the hill. So the first one's starting here, and you guys can see the other 4 in the background. Now our last balloons for this area are going to be just south of the Hogwarts Castle. You guys can see that we have a Flue Flame over here called the Central Hogwarts Valley. Our location is going to be along the railroad tracks that's pretty much just southeast of this Flue Flame. So if you come down here in this area and put down a marker, it'll be pretty easy to find. So once you take the Central Hogwarts Valley Flue Flame, or Flue Flame rather, you then walk outside the door, hop on your broomstick, and just fly over the tree line towards the purple mark that you placed. And try to stay on the left side. You guys will pretty quickly find the railroad tracks as our first balloon comes up on you pretty fast. So if we stay left here, you guys can already see the railroad tracks. And we'll keep heading toward that blue mark. And here's our first balloon. And all 5 of them are pretty much in a straight line. So it's pretty easy to find here. So now we're going to head over to the Feldcroft region. We're actually going to start on the far southeastern side by Irondale. You guys can see we have a small town here called Irondale. We're going to take the Flue Flame called Irondale, and our balloons are going to be located right here. So once you spawn in, all you'll have to do is turn left. You guys will see that we have an opening here where this is where all 5 of our balloons will be. So we've got 2 going this direction. We've got 1 literally right below us, and then the other 2 are on this backside. Next, we're going to head over to the northern side of the Feldcroft region. We've got a Flue Flame back here called North Feldcroft, and the location we're going to want to go to is this cluster of trees right here. So you can put down a little marker right here. Go ahead and take this Flue Flame, and once you spawn in, just turn around, head toward that marker, and pretty quickly, you guys will be able to see all 5 of our balloon locations. Now our next set of balloons is actually going to be really close by. As we just finished grabbing the ones in this wooded area, we're just going to head further west down here to where this lake is. And as you're flying that direction, you really don't need much guidance, as once you get over here, even from here, you guys can already start to see the balloons right above the lake here. You guys can see 4. The 5th one is actually located right on the back side of this tree if you get lost. So once you get down here, you guys can see there's number 5. Our next set of balloons is pretty easy to find as we're going to continue to head south. We've got a Flue Flame down here that is called the South Feldcroft Flue Flame. Once taking that, all you have to do is literally walk right out the front door, and you guys can already see here, we have all 5 balloons. Our next set of balloons is going to be found over by the Feldcroft Catacomb Flue Flame. Once taking this Flue Flame, put down a marker west of this Flue Flame, kind of in between that and this one. Right about here is where you're going to find the next set of balloons, and trust me, it's really, really easy to find. So just take the Catacomb Flue Flame, once spawning in, get on your broomstick and head down the hill toward that marker, and as you guys can see, all 5 of our balloons are located right here in front of us. For our next set of balloons, we're actually going to head right back over to the Feldcroft Catacomb, and once you're here, we're just going to go off the edge. So it's going to be located down here in the water. So once you spawn in at this flue flame, we're just going to turn around, go off the side of the mountain here, and as you guys can see below us, we have our balloons. So there's 3 on this side of the arch. There's one that's actually in the arch right here in front of me, and then the other one is on the back side of the arch. So now we're going to head over to the coastal cavern. We only have 1 set of balloons here, and they're extremely easy to find. So we're going to go to the flue flame in the middle that's called North Poidsir Coast. And once taking that flue flame, you'll immediately spawn looking at the balloons, as you'll have 5 working their way down the mountainside here. Next, we're going to head over to the Poidsir Coast, where we've got 3 sets of balloons. Our first location is actually going to be found down here. We're going to take this flue flame up here called the Poidsir Castle, and we're going to go south. So you guys can see there's a river that kind of flows down this direction. We put our marker down just on the left side of this river down here. If you take this flue flame, all you'll have to do is hop on your broomstick and head toward that purple marker. Now, you will need to be careful because you can't enter the castle while you're on your broomstick. And if you haven't defeated this place, it can be quite busy. So we're going to fly right over this really quickly and head toward our purple mark. And as we work our way this way, you guys will see on the other side of this hill here, you'll start to see our balloons pop up, and they're going to go right through this little waterfall area. So on this side, we have a couple. We've got 1 right here and 1 in front of the waterfall, and the other 3 are located up the waterfall. So 1 here, 1 there, and 1 just on the other side of this bridge underneath. For our next set of balloons, we're going to head a little bit further south. We're going to go to the South Poidsir Coast flue flame that's located down here. And after taking that flue flame, all you have to do is turn around and go outside of this door. And once you're outside, you guys can already see our first balloon out this way. You're going to see 2 balloons immediately right here. They're going to go around this little hill. So those 2, and then we have these 2. And if you continue around this little island thing we got going on here, you guys will find the 5th one. So it's kind of a big circle around this little rock structure. For our next set of balloons, we're going to head up here to the Phoenix Cave. So fortunately, we have a fast travel up here by the Phoenix Mountain Cave. We're going to take that, and our location is actually going to be along this river. So these balloons are going to be heading down the river. So once taking this flue flame up here, we're going to spawn in, and we're just going to head toward this purple marker. I would recommend staying on the left side here, because this first one's going to come up pretty quick on you. So you guys can see the rivers here. The first balloon is going to be located just under this bridge. So as we head under, you guys will start to see our first 3 balloons. And as you continue down this hill, you guys will see our last 2 just around the corner here. Next, we're going to head over here to Marinweem Lake, where there's only 1 set of balloons, and it's pretty easy to find. We're going to start on the northeastern side here. You guys can see we have the Coastal Mine Flue Flame, and the location is going to be right here above the lake. Now, location doesn't matter too much because as soon as you take this Flue Flame, you guys are going to start to see the balloons pretty quickly. You've got all 5 of them lined up here in a pretty straight line, so you shouldn't have any problems finding these 5 balloons. Now, for our next 2 locations, we're going to head down to the Manor Cape. There's 2 sets of balloons here, and I'm going to show them both to you at the same time because they're literally right next to each other. So on the western side here, you guys can see that we have the Flue Flame down here. This Flue Flame is called West Manor Cape, and once taking that Flue Flame, all we're going to do is walk outside of this door. Your first set of balloons is going to be directly above you. So you can see 1 right here in front of me. The other 4 are going to be directly behind me. As you fly up, you'll start to see them. There's 3 back there and 2 right here beside me. And then the next set of 5 balloons is going to be right over here by this giant rock formation. So I'm not going to fly all the way over here for the sake of the video, but there's 4 right here, and behind that giant rock, the 5th balloon is located back there. Next, we're going to head over here to the Cragcroft Shire, and we're actually going to start up here by the Cragcroft Flue Flame, and we're going to end up going down here where I've marked. You guys can see that there's kind of one little spot here that blocks the water on both sides. This is a small little bridge, and this is where our next set of balloons is going to run. So you can start from here. Once you spawn in here, you're going to be in a little hut. You can walk outside or fly outside, and we're going to be about 450 meters away. So once you get up here, all you really have to do is fly over this hill, and you guys should start to see the balloons pretty quickly. There's going to be 3 balloons that are on this side of the bridge. So you guys can see there's 1 here, 1 directly in front of me, and 1 pretty much under. And then you can see 1 in the further distance. There's 2 on the other side of this bridge. So this is our first location here. Now, our second location that's here in the Cragcroft Shire, I probably should have showed you first because it's on the way to the one I just showed you. So we're going to go right back to the Cragcroft Flue Flame. And once you spawn in, all you have to do is go outside and literally just look up. There's another set of balloons right here. So all 5 of them are pretty easy to find. I believe this is our first one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think the other one is behind this tree. Yeah, there they are. So here's all 5 of these balloons. Now for our 32nd and final balloon location, we're going to head to the far southern point of the map and go to the South Clagmar Coast Flue Flame. Once you're down here, our location is going to be just west of this Flue Flame. So once you spawn in here, we're going to go right outside the door, hop on our broomstick and go right. And even from here, you guys can already see our first balloons around the corner. So this is going to kind of go upwards and towards this mountain. They go in a pretty straightforward path. So as you get to the next one, you'll see the next one. And then the 5th one is in between the 2 rocks over there. But these are all the balloon locations here in Hogwarts Legacy. Hopefully this video helps some of you guys out. If you guys have any other questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.